Hello, I'm Michael Glass from the FXcast Market Analysis team. This is our FXcast Market Analysis trading plan. In each of our videos, we try to identify high probability trading setups. We'll evaluate the gold chart to see if there's any leading sentiment. We will create a low volatility watch list, an inside bar watch list, and we'll review the economic calendar to see if there are any releases that could affect our open and new trades. As always, please send your comments and feedback to analysis@fxcast.com. We continue to watch our gold daily chart move sideways. One thing to note is that we do see some lower highs here. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could come over here and draw our little downtrend line. And so we have sort of a descending wedge here. So if we break out back above the 20, back above this trend line, that would certainly be bullish, at least back up to our 1900 level. Or if we break our support here, 1790, that would be bearish, running down to our 50 moving average. We can see on our market profile that we continue to just move right in this tight range. You can also see that on the daily, where for the past 4 days, really inside bar after inside bar after inside bar. So with consolidation with gold, what does that mean for our pairs? Well, for the euro dollar, we're starting to see a little move back to the norm. We were in this range here of 1.4, basically to 1.45, for about 4 or 5 months, really the whole year. And every now and then we broke out of it. But here's January. So we were in that range for a while. And as we come back over to where we are now, you can see we air kissed 1.347, and now we're making high. Now the entry for our position traders, once we put in this wick here, once we got above this price level, this is where our buyers found a high probability to move higher. We got a little doji at that price level, and now we're moving up. So hopefully we'll get a move up here to the 200 moving average, or at least test what was once support now become resistance. But again, what we're looking at is for some type of move higher. However, what we can see is that we are now entering a neutral zone on our 1 hour time frame, although we are still well below our long-term moving average. And you can see a real nice channel starting to form here on the 1 hour time frame. So you certainly want to watch that, and you could draw the same one on top. We can see that for the past couple days, the snaking of who's in control. Now that the euro is in control, we're starting to see that move higher now that the euro has once again taken control. And we got a little divergence there, and that's when we got our little move higher. But overall, we can see that the euro still is trending lower, but it has leveled off, while the dollar is trending lower, perhaps a little bit more move. And our indicator, our probability indicator, is not giving us anything right now. Really has stayed in the middle here. We got a little extreme giving us a heads up for this potential move here, but for the most part it's been sideways. So we got sideways to up as far as our high probability for the euro dollar. For the pound dollar, we're not seeing that move up here. I was watching this to see if we would get a break above this wick here, and we did it. We're getting a little sideways action, so maybe we're going to bottom. Little support here now that we're going to watch at 1.57. Matches up with the wick. There we go. Matches up with these wicks here. You can even go a little bit higher, but I went with the wick. That basically matches up where we are. So we'll watch and see what happens. Will buyers find safety here? Is there a probability of us moving higher? We'll have to watch. What we can see is that we're still below our long-term moving average. We're still in the buy zone here. But the dollar is still in control. Unlike the euro dollar, the dollar is still in control here with the pound dollar, because our pound is still averaging lower. Our dollar is averaging lower too, but I guess our pound is a little bit weaker. But basically we can see we have parallel movement, one on top of the other, and that's why our price action is basically doing the same thing here. So we'll have to watch and see if the dollar can get back above zero and clearly show it's in control. Well, we'll move lower on our daily. If the buyers are finding value here at 1.57, then maybe the pound will take control, and we'll see a move up back to what was once support and now is resistance. Finally, we go to the dollar franc, and we can see that we ran up to the 200 moving average. Not only did we run up to the 200 moving average, but if we drag over here, we can see, there was the last swing high here. So we failed at the 200 moving average, we failed at the last swing high, and now we're starting to pull back. The entry here, if you're looking for a high probability way to go lower, is once we got below these wicks, the wick of this here, there was that move lower. So we got a little doji there to confirm the indecision, and then today's action is moving us lower. We see that we are still pretty high, but we're entering the neutral zone. We're entering a neutral zone. So as long as we have been up here on a 1 hour time frame, we're starting to get back into the neutral. We can see that the franc has taken control, a little divergence. That's what's causing our price action to move lower. We can see the franc, although averaging lower, it is recently starting to level off and maybe a little bit higher, while the dollar is going lower. So while the franc is in control, the pair will move lower. We'll see if we can make it all the way down to 0.8328, but for right now, the franc is in control and the pair will move lower. As we look at today's watch list, first starting off with our low volatility watch list using our 1 hour time frame and Bollinger Bands, we have the Euro Yen and the Dollar Canadian. As we move to our inside bar watch list, where we're looking at today's range as compared to yesterday, we will also be watching the Euro Yen. Let's move to the economic calendar. Coming into our economic calendar, we have monetary policy for the franc, HICP for the European Union, and then several things for the states, the Consumer Price Index, and Empire State Manufacturing Survey, and then finally U.S. jobless claims. So there are some things here that can move the market, so we certainly want to be aware when they're going to be released and trade the reaction. We would like to thank you for watching our FXcast market analysis. As we continue to improve and make adjustments so that you're getting value from our videos, we want you to take the time to give us feedback, give us comments, send us questions about what you would like to see in our videos, and you can send those comments and feedbacks to analysis@fxcast.com, or you can post to our daily forum. Thanks guys, and I'll see you next time.